What is up, internet world, and welcome back to Accelerate. I'm Mike Van Hout, he's Ian McAlpine, and today we're reviewing the Porsche 718 Spyder RS. Oh baby, I've been waiting a long time to drive this car. More the motor. This is the best power plant, in my opinion, that Porsche makes. This is the 4-liter 6-cylinder with individual throttle bodies that makes 493 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque. Now it's made to a 7-speed PDK that shifts very, very, very fast. I'm gonna put this thing in PDK Sport, suspension on, ESC plus traction control off. Let's see how fast we get to 6. I'm so nervous. Let's see how fast we get. Oh my God. The sound, guys, the sound. You guys ready? Oh! 3.11. Oh my God, I'm dying. This is like the best. This is no words. And when you launch it, the best part is I don't know if it purposely does the wah, 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 wah. I don't know if it purposely does it, but it's amazing. This thing revs to 9,000 RPM. 493 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque, and it revs to 9,000 RPM. It is insane in every single category. It looks amazing. It handles perfectly because it is now streetable. It is not unbearable to your back. If I go left, there's a golf course and they're going to be so mad at me. I'm sorry, guys. I'm passing a golf course and they're so mad. They're so mad. I'm sorry. It's amazing. So if you want to hide your face, the top does a perfect job because you can't really see inside. But with the top off, man, everybody can see you. Okay, 3, 2, 1. This is the perfect purist vehicle. Hands down. Let me put these windows up. It's just a little bit quieter in here. For starters, it's not just for the driver. The intake is right here. And on the passenger side, it's in the exact same spot. So both people get this crazy feeling. And it is like not unbearably fast. I mean, listen, it's quick. But the visceral feeling you get out of this car is insane. Like, you can get electric cars all day long getting in the 2.5 second range. Matter of fact, we have the Taycan Turbo GT, and that's in the 2s all day long. But this car is just so exciting. Like, this is where the party's at. This thing is so raw and alive, and you can't have a bad day when you drive this car. Like that note, and the note changes at different RPMs, like 3,500, 5,500, 6,500. So people complain about the drone between 40 and 55 miles an hour. Okay, so let me get you to that speed and then you tell me about the drone. So there we go. Let's go into I'm doing exactly 100 kilometers an hour. I don't hear no drone. Now, obviously, if you're in 5th gear like this, or third gear. Like, if that's a drone, I will take drones all day, every day. And also, I will say, these gears are so short, super short, that going through the gears is so enjoyable. You're not gonna lose your license in the first 2.5, 3 gears, which is so much better than a lot of vehicles out there where you're like, first gear, you're already hitting like 45 miles an hour, but not in this. And look how fast it goes from 7th gear, listen, to first gear. 7th gear to first gear. Guys, it jumps from 7 to 6 to first. Now from this angle right here, this looks like a baby Carrera GT. And it is convertible, if you didn't know, because it is a Boxster. And the sad thing is the next Boxster or next generation of Boxster to hit the streets is gonna be electric. Now inside, underneath, essentially, this is a Cayman GT4 RS. Now, when you think about that, it is a track-heavy car. It is way more stiff on the streets than this Boxster. This is more like roadworthy. It's because they've softened the suspension. They've taken off the wing from the Cayman, and they've added a convertible, if you didn't know what a Boxster was. Look at this front end. Okay, so let's start off with the hood. This is made from carbon fiber reinforced plastic, and you do see the carbon weave all throughout this hood. Now you'll notice there's no front emblem. It's actually just a tiny little sticker. Yep, when was the last time you saw a Porsche without an actual emblem, besides somebody stealing it from the front of your car? You have these inlets on the front hood on the left and right side. You also have these outlets / inlets on each of the fenders, left and right. And of course you have these amazing Porsche headlights. That is all satin black housing on the inside. And when you stand here and look at it, it simply says Porsche. And then moving into the front bumper, you have an upper grille and a lower grille. And inside you'll see it's made from a honeycomb titanium colored metal. Cool. It's on the left and the right where you have your coolers. It's nice and big, nice and aggressive. And when you take a close look to this lower valence, it says Spyder RS on it. So you have a really steep driveway. Well, thank God this Spyder has a button you can press that raises the height of the front end or the front axle to get into your driveway without scraping the bottom of your front lower valence. Now, on the side of this front lower valence, you have these things. It's more like an air curtain, but it definitely does have some significance because they wouldn't put on this if it didn't work. And it makes the car look wider too on the front. To the side of this vanadium gray metallic Porsche 718 Spyder RS. So let's talk about the front here. You can see that this is actually designed to make the airflow all the way down right into this massive side intake. Now, of course, we have upper intakes for our eardrums, but that starts at the front and moves all the way down. This is carbon fiber reinforced plastic, these fenders, and I love this little piece over here because when you stand right here from the back, you can see this opening and you can see how wide these 20-inch wheels are. Now you can get 2 sets of wheels or 2 types of wheels. One is these factory standard RS wheels, or you can get the magnesium wheels for a whopping $17,000. And that will lighten the load by 10 kilograms with those wheels. Now this RS is optioned with the carbon ceramic brakes, and that saves about 50% worth of weight when compared to the regular brakes. This vehicle also weighs 3,100 pounds or so, which is super light. So Porsche is trying to just extract every single tiny piece of weight from this RS. These are also center lock wheels. And then you've got the Spyder RS down there. You've got carbon fiber mirrors, carbon fiber upper inlet, carbon fiber side inlet. And then on the back here, you have 295 30 20s. And on the front, you have 245 35 20s. Now this is basically the Cayman GT4 RS's brother. A little softer, older, more mature brother. One designed for the streets. And they've done that by softening the load in the front in terms of spring rates. It is 55% less on the front and 43% on the back. It also has one significant feature, and that is it is higher by 0.2 inches, just to give it that extra oomph for your bump. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the back end of these Boxsters, but this one is completely different. You have this bump outs. It's amazing how cool this looks, not to mention the carbon fiber piece here with a third brake light. And then of course, the iconic ducktail. It looks very similar to it back in 1972 when we first saw it with the Porsche RS 2.7. And they got this cute little carbon fiber piece right at the tip of it. Now, if you guys want to see this Mercedes-Benz AMG GT63 SE Performance, wow, try saying that fast 400 times. You guys need to subscribe to our channel, Accelerate. We have 100,000 subscribers now, and we are very, very blessed. Wait, that was like 3 years ago. We're not at 1 million yet, and we need to get there because we need a new plaque for this guy. And we will not get there without your help. So please, please, please consider subscribing. So the reality is the best part of the rear end of this car are the exhausts. So let's hear it because it'll blow your mind. Crazy. One button makes the difference. On, off. Now I sat here to tie my laces on this sill, and then I turned my head this way and realized, wow, this offset on this back wheel is perfect with respect to this rear quarter. Like, it is on the money. Just an observation. So jumping on the inside, okay, I'm in the bucket seat. Now these bucket seats are made from carbon fiber reinforced plastic. They should actually change the name of this vehicle because everything inside and on the outside is pretty much made from carbon fiber reinforced plastic with a carbon weave, as you can see right here. This has the Weissach package. It says Weissach RS, and it has a cool circuit around the upper crested of the headrest portion. But I didn't actually notice any of this stuff with the top up. When the top was down and gone, I'm like, wow, this actually looks really, really good. But what about feel? How does it feel for the body? Now, I am 5'9", about 155 pounds, and I fit perfectly in these seats. These are bucket seats, so they don't recline. They're just stiff and they hold you this specific way. But you can, of course, go backwards and forwards, and you can raise and lower it by hitting a button on the side here. Holds you in really, really well. Now you'll notice a lot of red in here, and there's a lot of red stitching. It is called carmine red, or you can get an Arctic gray. You can also have 7 different choices of seatbelt, and this one has carmine red. Now let's talk about the door panel here. Of course, you'll notice the handle. There is no handle. It is simply just a carmine red strap. And that is because it is all about motorsports, and that is traditionally a motorsport thing. You have a lot of carmine red stitching on the top. You have carbon fiber here, carbon fiber all across the dash. Love it. This is the perfect interior. Now, it's not the newest interior. There's no gizmos to distract you when you're driving. A lot of actual buttons. Again, this is not the new interior. This has been around on the Boxster for a little bit, but I love the way it is, including the shifter. Totally jumping, but I want to talk about the shifter here. It's really pulling my eye. It is a manual style boot. Like, this is not an automatic boot. This is a manual boot, but this is an automatic transmission, and it's the only way you can get it in this PDK, which shifts like a madman. Then there's a steering wheel. I like how there's no buttons on the steering wheel. This is just a purebred steering wheel with race text as the material, with a 12 o'clock in yellow. You have your paddle shifters. My God, they are amazing to use. And then you wonder, why is there race text on the top here? And that is part of this Weissach package. And that is because when you're driving on the track, you don't want to be distracted from the glare. And this reduces glare. Now in your center dials, it says Spyder RS. On the left-hand side, your speedometer. On the right-hand side, you have a small digital display that shows you different items. And the only way you can get to that is by using this stalk right here and not on the steering wheel. And that is unique. I just love this portion of it where you don't have buttons on the steering wheel. Thumbs up, Porsche. And if you're wondering how to start your Porsche, well, it's done by a key. Yep, there is no start button. You have to put the key in and start it manually. I know, crazy, right? In the center, you have a 7-inch infotainment screen that has hardwired Apple CarPlay. You do have your tuner, media, nav, map, all hard buttons, including source, phone, car, and of course, home. And then your HVAC controls are pretty straightforward, left and right. It has dual climate control. And then we talked about the shifter. Of course, you have park, reverse, neutral, drive, and then of course, manual, so you can use your paddles. And then on the bottom here is really where all the action is. And that's where your PDK Sport button is, your suspension button, your stability program with traction control off as a separate button, and you have your exhaust button, and of course a button to raise the front axle and drop it, of course. Down from there, you have your armrest that you can lift up. This is also made from Racetex, nice and soft. And here you have one USB-C. There's no wireless charging in this thing because you have to leave your phone at home and enjoy yourself without any distraction. Now, there's a lot of controversy online about this top, the convertible top on this 718 Spyder RS. Number one, I like it because I like the extension of these pieces right here. It makes the car look longer, cleaner. Just the design is way better with this extension here as opposed to just a top that stops right here. Now, important to note, how fast can you drive with the top on? And that number is 122 miles an hour. And with it off, 191 miles an hour. Yes, with the top off, you can go a lot faster than with the top on. Kind of crazy, right? Let's talk about getting it off. Or actually, let's show you how it's done. Number one, you pull these red tags on either side. This side, let's get on that side. Let's see how long this will take. People say it takes almost 20 minutes, which I find crazy. Number two, you remove this portion right here and you put it back. And on that side, Ian can do it. He pulls it and puts it back. Number three, we pop the trunk. This opens up like this, lift it up like that. Whoo, look at that. Beautiful. Okay, then what we do is we open the doors, come on this side, and this is what happens. We actually have to slide this up and around so this actually gets pulled off, because this piece right there is a piece on its own. So I do it on the driver's side, let me run on this side, do it on the passenger side, and then you just pull this up, and then you pull these three, 1, 2, and then the third clip there. Ian, get that third clip. Nope, the clip, hold on, pull. Perfect, see, it's that easy. You just have to know what you're doing. Okay, so then we fold this over. Okay, on this side here, we fold this over here. Now, obviously it's a little bit tedious, I get it, but there's some value here. You take this and you slide it in the bag. You see, you get a bag right here. You see that? Porsche bag. This fits right inside this bag. Pretend I put it in the bag. Next up is this lever. You pull the lever down and you push forward. That releases this. And then when you have this released, you go on the other side, let me run on the other side, and you release the other side as well. And boom, you pull this down, and this all comes apart, and then you just roll the whole thing. Now, obviously, this feels kind of weird, but it's actually not. You go on both sides. This is really a two-person job, so Ian, use your other hand, lift this up, pull it towards yourself, and just roll. And we keep rolling it. We keep rolling it, keep rolling, keep rolling, keep rolling, 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 rolling. There we go. And then you go on the inside and you pull the lever and you remove the actual secondary portion of the top right here. So you lift it up and then you put it back into this spot that's perfectly created for the top. It sits right in. Hold on, just making sure all is good. Yep, I just got to put this clamp down. There we go. And look how it fits perfectly snug. And you kind of tuck this part in here a little bit. It's a little bit like a carpet. You got stick it in perfectly. And you go on the other side, make sure you're good on this side here. So what we do is we just make sure that this is tucked in as best you can, because that way then when you close it, it doesn't stop the air intake, you see, because that's really important. And then you close this trunk, you look carefully on the right and the left. Okay, this is just touching away there, but I can move this back there. Perfect, that goes in there. Make sure the side's good. Here, move this over. Perfect, awesome. And then you just push this whole contraption down, and then that's it. Okay. And then you push this whole contraption down, and that's it. Yeah, that's that. Okay, so it fits perfectly in the Benz trunk. Just a little bit less snug. Now that the cover's away, this is how it's done. You close this, you push down on it, and then on the driver's side, click, look at the quality. On the passenger side, click. Really, really good quality, and this is how it's supposed to be driven, up to 191 miles an hour with the air inlet screaming in your ear. I literally do not breathe when I drive this thing at full throttle. I cannot believe that they make this motor and they're like, we'll give you a warranty and you can do this all day. All day. Now I get these bucket seats. In the beginning I was like, oh, these bucket seats are hard. Like, not the actual material, but I was like, hard to get in and out. I don't know why anybody bought bucket seats, because you can get fully 18-way fully adjustable seats like at no cost. You can just press a button, tell the dealer, and they'll give you regular seats. So would you buy regular seats or these bucket seats? And honestly, you have to get these bucket seats because you have to be held in when you drive this thing. And I get it. Obviously the Cayman, the GT4 RS is definitely more track suitable. This is more to live with every day and just have a good time and come back from work and think, you know what, that was a long day. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna scream, and my car's gonna scream with me, and both of us are gonna make this harmonious melody to enjoy every ounce of soul that the engineers put into this vehicle to build it for guys like, I wouldn't say me, but whoever can afford this. It is insane, and you should buy one if you got the funds and the means. I believe that every company that owns a supercar exotic rental firm should have one of these in their fleet. For sure, because it gives you every experience that a supercar does. Every experience. Your ears, your body. It forces me to actually sit up straight. And matter of fact, I don't sit up straight. I've been slouching my whole life. And these seats force me to sit up straight. Now, it is true. These seats should actually be built with a slight more recline than actually it's built with, because my back sits far back, but my shoulders sit forward. And maybe that's just how you have to sit when you're driving a race car. But if it just gave me like one extra adjustability to go back like 1 degree, just like one tiny degree, it would make this experience a little bit better from like the daily driving perspective, because it is perfect to be daily driven. The suspension is absolutely perfect. Man, I got nothing to say except for this car is a dream. It's a dream to drive. It looks amazing for the 15th time, and it is definitely a daily driver. You can drive this all day if you have to. Now, if you sit on the highway all the time, maybe not. But all the best brains at Porsche and Weissach created the ultimate Porsche. This is exactly how I expect a Carrera GT Lite, aka Baby Carrera GT, to drive. Now, if you're thinking about speccing a 718 Spyder RS for yourself, this is just regular. I haven't pressed any buttons yet. I would spec it out exactly like this. I personally wouldn't bother with the mag wheels. It's 17K or so, and for that extra weight savings, you're gonna daily drive this thing. If you had a pothole, for me, these wheels are perfect. They are obviously lightweight and they are Ford, so I wouldn't spec it any other way than this. As well as being gray, I do like the gray. I like all the carmine red. For me, this is the perfect spec. On the outside, if the car gets dirty, it doesn't really matter. It's gray, you can't really see it. On the inside, red is the right color for exhilaration, excitement, to heighten your senses. I wouldn't change it. This car is exactly the way I would build it. So that's it for me, Mike, and Ian behind the camera and at the editing studio, where he puts a lot of work to make these videos as awesome as possible. I want to thank him. So that's it for me and him. We'll catch you on the next one.